Hello, I'm Stephen Orvis, and today I'm talking about committing to try 100 times. I got this concept from Noah Kagan's book, Million Dollar Weekend. I thought it was a super good concept and worthwhile processing a little more and implementing. So basically, the concept, which he goes into on page 148 of his book, he calls it the Law of 100, and he's saying that people oftentimes quit when they try something new before they've actually done it enough to get good enough to be successful. So he's like, you got to try, and he just kind of picked an arbitrary number, but it's a big number of 100, saying that we should at least try 100 times before we give up and say this isn't working or this isn't for us to do that. Uh, Kind of a thought mistake there, or a thought there would be if you're learning to play piano, how many times do you need to keep trying before you would be successful at it and be good at it? You actually probably do have 100 reps, and especially if you learned piano as a child, you might remember the repetition, 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 and likely you had 100 plus in there actually to start to get good at it. He had a good example of this concept. Someone did a study where they split some photography students into two groups. One group, they were going to be graded on a final grade of uh, the, taking a single photo, and then they were just supposed to submit that single photo, and it was as good as they could. And if it was a quality photo, they get an A. The other group, they just had to submit 100 photos, and that was how they got their A. And turns out the group that submitted 100 photos had better quality photos than the group that just submitted one super good photo. And so that group apparently didn't practice 100 times in between time. They just took their one or two photos, or however many, 10, whatever, and then decided it was good and then went on. Versus the other group kept practicing, and then they got better at it over time. So I thought that was a really amazing example of this law of 100 tries. Just that trying makes you better. And so whatever you're trying to do, he's saying, newsletter or YouTube videos, whatever it is, just go ahead and try 100 times before you give up. He gave another example where he started a newsletter, kind of got there, then quit, and years later went back to it and then was successful at it. But he wished he hadn't quit when he did. So that was where this suggestion came from. So the book includes in the back of that chapter a quick chart that looks like a box of columns, and basically you just check them off in doing it. He also mentions there's a download you can go to on his website, which is a spreadsheet, a digitalized version that helps you track the percent done and things like that. That wasn't exactly what I wanted, though. I was thinking about it, and I wanted something more printable that I could get. And then also, I've learned about SMART goals here recently, too, in the past few years, and I wanted to make my goals in alignment with that. So I made up this sheet here with example verbiage of committing to an action, and then the example. And there are studies about writing goals down too, that you are more likely to achieve something you write down versus something you don't. So we're also keying into that aspect too. And this gives you physical paper, something you can look at. And I give an example, and then I give credit to Noah. Then just boxes. And then down here, if any of your friends or anyone is like, hey, where'd you get that from? You can scan the QR code. So I've been using it, and I've been posting YouTube videos actually and tracking what I've been getting done. And that has helped me to see where I'm at, how much further it is. It feels like you've done a lot, but it takes a little bit to get to 100. And so by doing a bunch of them, that is helping me to get better at it, and I'm definitely learning as I go. I'm seeing little tips and things that aren't obvious, just jumping into it. But after, I'm sure people have done it for a while, just know what they should do, and it's second nature. So where can you get your copy of this? You can follow the QR code here on the screen, or just type in the URL, the www.stevenorvis.com/r/1fi. And then I'll also have a link here in the description below, so that anyone else that wants to give this a try can go there, sign up to the newsletter, and get the free download.